The pimp, the preacher, and the prostitute.
You're cheap. You're confusing me terribly.
I do that to people.
A picker hat.
What happened to the airplane?
Hey, Scott, I'm gonna let her rip.
And you'd think he was the one that had been drinking. It's shabby chic, right? I'm Scott Cousins,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and bars. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us. La Belle Province.
I think we should try and blend in.
That's a good one. Here we are in St. Catherine Street in Montreal.
Oh, look, I always wanted to visit the Taj Mahal.
Perfect. It's probably as close as we're gonna get.
I gotta buy the crappiest souvenir I can find in Montreal for my father-in-law. Really tacky, but it's gotta be Montreal tacky. You see, this is almost perfect.
Tacky's one of
That's tacky, but it's Canada tacky. It's not Montreal tacky.
one of my specialties, tacky.
It's gotta be really bad. It has to grab you with its ugliness.
All right, I think you might be the sole judge of ugliness. Hey, Scott. A picker hat.
I think you should have that. Classy. Oh, now here, that's pretty good, Sheldon, don't you think? Olympic Stadium?
I could do it.
It's hard to get any better than that.
Don't forget to get a map.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a good one for
Yeah.
you because you are navigating as usual.
Better throw one of these into.
Let's see, back into the rain. Let's go.
Quebec is just beautiful at this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're heading to Hudson, Quebec, a little west of Montreal, an English-speaking area.
Oh, we're going to see Rob. I think Rob's grandmother was an antiques dealer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Rob's stuff. He's got some modern stuff, some little knickknacks and goulias,
Julia's?
little things.
You just made that up, didn't you? Yeah.
Here we are.
Oh, you can't. How can you miss it? Look at the car.
Yeah.
Hi,
How you doing?
Scott. How are you?
Rob, how are you? Welcome to Hudson.
So what's the story?
Well, I've been collecting stuff for the last 20 years, and I think I'm getting on the verge of becoming a hoarder. When I go out to buy stuff, I feel like I have to buy something. Things I like to collect typically are mid-century modern. I love the design, the shape.
So you're looking to sell some stuff?
I am.
And where is it?
We got some stuff in the garage, got some stuff inside, and I've got a bar just down the street. Having the bar helps me justify, oh yeah, I can hang that up in the bar somewhere. Try to justify it.
You want to start in the garage?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. That's sort of cool. It's got a hole in the other side. Looks like somebody got mad when they got booted out of the tavern.
Well,
What's this, Rob?
a hopper planter. I just liked it. You have a place to put your ice inside.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever drank
No.
that beer? The garage is always the best place to shop because if it's in the garage, it's further from the heart.
Got everything from these Burke chairs.
What'd you call them?
Burke is a company out of Dallas that basically did a imitation of the Saarinen chair.
And these ones are sort of neat, too.
Yeah, that's by a German modernist. It's called the kangaroo chair. You can tell by how the legs sort of turn. Looks
Right.
like a kangaroo about to leap.
See the Saarinen chairs regularly. You rarely see the kangaroo chairs.
That's an old Molson sign that the breweries would give to the individual bar owners. This one's obviously been worn a lot.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of mileage on it. Somebody shot it or something. and the
Bullet.
porcelain's all come off. What would you be looking to get out of that?
$100.
That sign wasn't in perfect condition, but it was a porcelain sign. It was probably from the 20s or 30s. Yeah, I think we can do $100.
Yeah. Deal.
Excellent.
We should double up on that and make 100 easy on a quick flip. Did you know they invented 5-pin bowling in Quebec?
The rationale behind my buying isn't always rational.
Holy cow.
Those are actual cannonballs. I have no idea why I bought those.
Oh, man.
You know, sometimes I'll just see something, I go, that'll make a great Christmas gift.
Cannonballs are kind of unique. Just so happens I know a lady that has a couple of cannons.
I'll tell you what, $5 each.
Oh, sold.
Okay.
For $5.
Yeah.
Deal.
Sort of cool. A 60s no-name copy of a Danish design, but it's a decorative piece that a kid would like to have for their house, right?
Yeah, I'd go $30 on that.
Yeah, I'll go 30 on that.
Yeah, deal.
Say, Rob, can I ask you about the clock?
It's an old American Art Deco neon clock without the neon.
What would you want for something like that? It is in the garage, you know.
$100.
What do you think? 75?
Sure, deal.
I thought he was fair on his prices. He was leaving a little on the table for us, and he did so willingly.
I noticed a painting over here that's really goofy.
The pimp, the preacher, and the prostitute.
Who painted it?
Kent Thompson, local Hudson resident.
It's not exactly a group of 7, is it?
It's a group of 3.
It's a group of 3. What would it take to put it in my house?
$100.
That's the problem with unknown artists. I don't know if $100 is a good deal or a bad deal. It's part of the game. There's 2 ways you try and get somebody to come down on their price. It's goofy.
Yeah.
It's oil on board, it looks like.
Yeah.
One is you talk about how good it is. You know what? I like it. Great character, great color in the piece. It's a pity to see it in the garage, but you just can't afford it. I could justify it at $50. They usually feel good about the fact that you like it and come down a little bit.
I'll tell you what. I'll go 50.
Perfect. I love it. It's the stupidest thing I've bought in a long time. The second way to get somebody to come down on their price, they got a few nicks on them, but you just beat it up a little bit because it's got some problem. Usable.
Yeah.
Right? You wouldn't
Exactly.
collect them so much as use them.
Yeah.
What would you be looking at, just out of curiosity?
Those would be about 150 each.
I mean, they've all got little nicks on here,
Yeah.
right? Because they've been used. Yeah, they've all just got the little scrapes. Can I make money off them? That is the question.
It's going to affect how much we offer. It's going to affect how much we sell it for.
How about 400 for the 4?
Okay.
Perfect.
Deal.
Well, I've emptied out your garage a little.
I got some more stuff inside.
Let's go.
All right.
I love the way you've decorated.
Well, thank you.
I like the table. You see these in teak all the time, but this kind of design, it was an absolute killer piece. I'm guessing because it's sitting in your house filled with stuff, it's probably pretty dear to you.
You'd have to want it more than I do.
And how much do you want it?
How much do you want it?
I'm just curious what you would want for it.
Around 1,500.
See, which isn't bad if you're buying it for a piece of furniture for yourself.
Yeah.
But for us to buy it to resell it, too big a risk.
Yeah.
I'd love to have it in my house, though. Anything else?
Yeah, come downstairs. We got some more stuff down here.
So you got a Jacobson chair,
Yes, that is Arne Jacobson's egg chair.
or Jacobson, however you want to
Jacobson.
call them. Classic design, made from the 50s right through to today.
It's just one of those pieces that, you know, you always want to have if you collect modern stuff.
It was an original piece with a replaced cushion. Hey, there's money in this chair.
Ultimately, they're not really that comfortable, but they look nice, you know?
What would you want for that, just out of curiosity?
Well, 2,500.
I mean, I don't think that that's a bad price, except that the leather's so rough. I'm not convinced I'd even get that back to Calgary before the leather just went kish. No, it's a great piece, but I don't think there's any money to be made on it for us at that price. I'm not really discouraged because I love the stuff. I love just looking at it. I love seeing it. But if we don't find anything that we can make a bit of money on, it's time to head to another room.
The things in the house were, well, he's decorated his home with. He's a little more attached to them.
This is a Danish hanging bar. Now, I don't know if I have the key.
How about tape to the back?
That would have been a good
Where it
idea.
should be.
There we go.
Really?
Isn't that cool? Bottles over there, your glasses here.
And a working surface here.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, it's a fun piece, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely killer item. There's a lineup of people that are looking for something like that. So what would you want for something like this?
Let's see.
You're making such good use of it.
I haven't found the right spot for it, so. 200 bucks?
Not for
See, I was thinking $100. That's and then
$100?
I might price it at 150, 180.
How about 150?
1.25. Final offer.
Deal.
Let's get to the bar, okay?
Have not picked out of a bar for a long time.
If nothing else, we can get a beer. Oh, there it is, Chateau de la. What a great old building.
So this is the bar. It's built in 1898. This bar is historic. It's one of the oldest continuously run bars in Canada. The railroad came through Hudson about 1890, and the hotel followed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's go picking.
All right.
Yeah, Rob took us to his mini theater, and it was a real neat little thing.
So this is.
Oh.
I basically took 4 of the hotel rooms and turned it into a little mini theater.
He done up that little theater in a very Art Deco theme.
We rent it out for children's parties and.
Premieres.
Yeah.
Had some great theater seats, really cool decorations.
Let's get picking.
Okay. You want to go upstairs and see the
You bet.
rest of the stuff?
Well,
You
just
bet.
before we go,
Okay.
your phone.
Ah.
Looks like it's a Northern Electric or something like that.
I think it is.
Probably 1930s, maybe 40s. It's two-colored, but I don't think it started life out two-colored. I think it was probably purple at one
Okay.
time. It wasn't a factory paint job, but it was a really good paint job. What would you sell it for?
50?
$40 and we got a deal.
Deal.
Perfect. Let's go pick it.
All right.
And if that's what he's got in his theater, I can hardly wait to get upstairs and see what he's got in his storage room.
And sure enough, it's packed. It's full of goodies. Hey, you got the blue nose.
I do have the blue nose.
But now we're in a big new space. What do you think, Scott? Do we need a hood ornament? Important that we keep the ball rolling and crack another deal.
An old parking sign here.
Oh, I love it.
Montreal taxi stand.
Yeah, you can't park there, you just take the sign. Yeah. I've owned those before. They're always a novelty item.
It's cool. It's old.
It is. Something somebody would want to put in their bar, decorate a store with it. Is that something we need back in the
It all
prairies?
depends on the price.
150?
See, I think we could do 100.
I was
on it,
just about to say we could
because
do
we'd
100.
probably sell it for 150, 175.
Okay. Deal.
Excellent. Sort of a neat planter, eh? Shabby chic, right? It's a shabby chic sort of piece.
Exactly right.
One of the areas that Sheldon and I disagree on sometimes is the whole shabby chic thing. You don't like it, right?
I rarely find shabby as very chic.
But you don't think that because of the color that somebody's gonna want that? But it sells. And that was a nice green piece. It had been painted. See, I think that's a useful thing. It had a bunch of levels. Somebody could use that in their house. What's the price on the plants then?
I could let you have that for 80 bucks.
Tell you what, my partner hates it, but I'll step out and go 50.
60.
Not gonna argue for 10 bucks. You've been fair.
60.
Deal.
Okay.
60. Deal. If Scott's happy with that as a screaming deal, then I'm screaming happy too. Hey, I just spotted something. You got some water skis here.
Yes. Probably from the 1950s. These come from Magog, Quebec.
I love early sporting goods. How'd you like to ski on that?
Well, I can't get over the square end on it. Look at that. Not much of a rudder on that baby.
Nice condition, real good visual item. They're great. What would you need for them?
40 bucks.
Done.
Done?
Yep.
No negotiation?
No negotiation.
You know your water ski, Sheldon.
Desirable and Canadian.
And if Sheldon wears a Speedo and rides those babies, he can have them for nothing.
I'll hold you up on that one.
I saw a horse over here, a couple of them, actually.
Yes.
I just wanted to see if I could get a sense of age. It's got some red paint on it, it looks like. It's missing its horsehair that would have had horsehair up there and horsehair in the tail.
Yeah.
But it's still sort of fun, eh?
Yeah, kind of crude.
Probably homemade by somebody for their kid.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you want for something like that?
175.
And what about the other horse? I saw the bits of a rocking horse. He would have had leather ears on him at one time. It was a glider, not a rocker. A really desirable, saleable item. Now, what would you be looking at for this one?
Well, this is a rural Quebec piece.
Do you know what I like about this, though, is it's all original paint. Nobody's dicked with them.
Exactly.
That's what I like.
I'd need 250 on that.
And what if we took two of them?
300?
Yeah, we can
Deal?
do 300.
Done.
Gentlemen?
Thank you.
Perfect.
These are really cool.
Screaming deal.
I'm thinking we should go down to the bar and celebrate. Some
Let's
good
go.
picking. Rob was a good guy to work with. He had interesting things.
Always a smile on his face.
Oh, I thought it was great, especially when you're dealing with people who have similar interests as you do.
Let's load her in.
Let's load her in. We made a friend, and you know what? He's gonna find us some more stuff. For once, Sheldon, I agree with you on water skis. These are cool. Anything you want to hold in place with this?
Just when we thought our picking was over that day,
I just happen to know a guy not too far away from here that might have a house full of Star Wars stuff.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
So I told him I would send you guys by there.
Perfect. Well, that's been a pleasure.
Gentlemen,
that was a lot of fun, Rob.
that was a hell of a lot of fun.
That's great news. We're excited. We don't have to travel too far.
Rob turned out to be such a great guy. And now he sent us on to John, which is unbelievable. When you can get from one pick to another pick a block and a half away. Rob told me that John had some Star Wars stuff.
I'm the Star Wars guy in Montreal.
A little leery. In Star Wars, I'll be watching you, the master, do his thing.
And I think he's just up here. Stuff everywhere.
Hey, you must be John.
How you doing?
Good. I'm Sheldon.
Nice
We
to meet
met
you.
John,
Who's hiding back there?
Oh, I'm Rita.
his mother Rita, and John's daughter Ruby as well.
What's the puppy's name?
Coco.
Let's go.
Coco.
Coco.
Coco. You're
He's
a
an
big...
attack dog.
So what's the story here?
Just moved in 10 days ago. Still unpacking. Garbage is free. Everything else, well, you know, we come do some picking.
Is it here or is it in the house as well?
Some here, some in the basement.
How is it you have so much antique stuff?
About 7 or 8 years ago, maybe more, I decided I was going to open an antique shop, and didn't work out too well.
We've
But I
heard
had
that
a lot of
story
fun.
before.
I had a good time.
And your shovel with the broken handle?
You can have that, yes.
Nice one, used for maple syrup or something like that. How much?
Well, how much are you offering? I think I better
hey.
ask you
No,
first.
you're the seller, I'm the buyer. I don't know, 10 bucks?
Sounds good to me.
That's good.
Nice. Sold. Can't help but make $30 or $40 on that.
Can we poke around in here?
Yes.
Of course you can, yeah.
Would you like my arch?
Yeah. Did you strip it?
No, I bought it as is.
Curious about this little desk, though. Is that something you'd part with, Rita?
Yeah, make me an offer.
I think to me that's worth 60 bucks.
I was thinking sort of 125.
Well, that's a retail price.
No deal there. Can I ask you about the trunks?
Something's falling.
Grabbing into that.
Bottom one here be up for sale?
Yes, it is.
And what would you like for it?
Well, supposing I say a huge price and then you...
Then I won't dig it out
Oh,
to see what it's all about.
I do want to sell, but everything I have is near and dear to me.
Tell me what you'd be comfortable with on it.
What are we gonna put it at?
350?
Yeah, I don't think we can do that on
Yeah.
it. I don't think we're even close. Well, it's an old sort of city washstand. Interesting because it's sort of gouged out the decoration just with a chisel by hand, right? This one's too big for that thing, but it would sit right just like that, right? They're not necessarily in style now, but that was a nice small one. Could go in just about any corner. Put it this way, I'm thinking we might be able to sell that for 80. So I'm thinking sort of 40. And I'm not sure if it's because the way I approached her.
You're cheap.
Well, you tell me what would make you happy, and we'll just say yes or no, right?
Did I not just do that?
No, you didn't give me a price
I didn't give you
on
a
this
price
one.
for that one. You're confusing me terribly.
I do that to people.
Yes.
You're looking at my shirt.
No, it's the blue eyes.
Can I use that to my advantage?
What do you are? 75.
I like it enough, I'd go 60 on it.
Okay.
Hey!
Oh, Rita!
Yay! We did it.
See, that's the hardest part, Rita.
Now I'm going to give you everything, right?
Now, exactly.
Forget it. Forget it.
Oh, I see one other thing.
I bought it at a flea market when I was a kid.
When you were a kid?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to have some sentimental value, right?
Not anymore. I'm not drinking anymore, so my kids and stuff.
Now, you know better than me what these sell for because out west we don't have Dow, right?
You don't?
Yeah, it used to just be in Montreal, right? Quebec local beer.
Right. I've got about 15 of them in my house.
All right, on.
Different
And
ones.
Scott has not quit drinking.
How much?
$10.
That's perfect. 10's perfect for me.
Sweet.
Wow, good deal.
See, as easy as that, Rita. John is much more of a business person. Yeah, you say yes, you shake hands,
And we're done.
Yeah. He knows he can buy again. I wish he had the authority to sell the furniture.
Let's get inside.
Oh, all right.
I can tell you just moved in. I want to look at some Star Wars then. Oh.
Got a R2-D2.
Oh yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, he's a good one. I think Star Wars hit a lot of people that grew up in the 70s pretty hard.
You see, these can be really expensive.
They can, yeah, I know.
The jowl with the plastic cape's the one you want, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 18,000 bucks.
Unbelievable.
It is. I have a giant passion since the 70s for Star Wars toys.
Star Wars is really the first mass-marketed toy. That's when people started buying figures and keeping them in mint condition. That's the third one, right?
Yeah, especially I find a lot of the ladies like the Ewoks or something.
I don't know why.
All the guys
cheese
never
balls.
like the Ewoks. Yeah.
Most of the stuff he had was pretty ordinary stuff. Oh yeah, there he is.
There's Luke.
Corvette Summer.
It's a real winner, eh? I get pretty ridiculed from my friends, but
But he did have a couple of really good dolls. Oh, you got a bunch of Boba Fett's in here.
I got 2 Boba Fett's in there.
Oh, this is 12-inch Star Wars figure.
That's right.
From the first movie.
Yep,
Hardest one to buy. Chewbacca's are a dime a dozen.
that's right.
But Boba Fett is tough, particularly with his rocket launcher, and more importantly, with his scalps.
The Wookiee scalps, exactly.
That's the key.
That's right.
This is about as clean as it's gonna get.
I do toy conventions and I sell Star Wars toys. This one I paid 120 bucks for it.
Oh, I gotta think about that. Sheldon, this would be a personal thing, because I don't think you're gonna want to have any part of this. You got any little Boba Fett figures?
Well, I'm a toy seller.
I know you are. I know you are.
I would sell that for 25 bucks. That's what I would sell it for at my toy con.
Wow. And would it sell for 25 bucks?
Oh, easily. They only make certain amounts, especially of the ones that they know that people like, Boba Fett's.
So what would you do for the big Boba Fett and the little Boba Fett?
Well, I have to sell that one at 120 because that's what I paid. But if you wanted them both, I'd give them for like 130 bucks. That's 10 bucks, which compares to your store. 5 bucks left leaves you room for $5 profit.
Okay, we'll do a deal like that.
Sweet.
Excellent.
All right.
There's Star Wars things for Scott. There's some wood for Sheldon.
I think it's homemade.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I had all sorts of applied carvings to it.
I love the diamonds on the front.
Yeah. Looks like the top has been a new top.
She'd taken the old top off it.
Because the other top was absolutely chopped to pieces.
My guess is if she'd left the old one on, it would have been a better piece of furniture. Gosh, it looks like it was a different color in a prior life.
Did you strip it, Rita?
No, I had it stripped.
I hate it when people take the paint off things. Leave it alone, okay? Leave it alone.
And they finally stripped it down to this awful red and green. Like
Awful red and green?
Well, I know that that's the color, but it wasn't the color that I wanted, so...
You know, I'm getting along okay with Rita. What would you need out of that?
A lot.
Somehow or other, she's dealing with me.
Well, how about if I say 1,000?
Ooh, you got some silence there. That was pretty good.
No, you see, I think if it had the original top and it was still green and red, I think I'd pay 1,000 for it. I don't think we could make any money on that.
How about $9.99?
If we waltzed a little bit, because I was going to say 350, 400. Scott,
Oh, no, I wouldn't
Scott's
be
looking at
interested
me.
in that.
But is there some ground in the middle there, or are we wasting our time?
Maybe 950.
Yeah, I think that doesn't leave any room for profit.
Well, let's leave that for a moment.
Okay.
Carry on.
The keeper?
I hadn't really thought about selling that because I sit it usually on top of an armoire and it looks kind of nice.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
That's why we like it. I mean, if you're interested in selling it,
If you really like it for 150, you can have it.
All right, Rita.
Wow.
See how easy that was? Yeah.
oh, that's better than the normal one. Yeah. Britain's motorcycle. There was also a box of lead Cowboys and Indians and soldiers. I do motorcycle swap meets.
Okay.
So you take that and sell it to somebody that's got motorcycles and they like collectibles, right? Now this is an excellent one. It's
headless-
tailless, it's legless.
The headless, legless horseman.
But there was about 15 or 20 of them that were good.
Maybe I'll pull a line that my mom's using. You can make an offer for the box.
50 bucks for the box.
Sold.
But I'm happy.
All right, good.
Okay, well, let's get some packing stuff so we can
Yeah.
get out of your hair.
Yeah.
Got it.
Rita, John, that was a lot of fun. Thanks so much.
I've never met a guy like John that's got a smile on his face all the time.
I like their hats. I think they're pretty cool with the hats. Yeah, it was great.
Glad you
Ruby,
came.
it was great meeting you. I should have been dealing with you, though, I can tell.
Oh, she's tough. She's tough. Thank you very much.
Good luck on your
Okay.
travels and
Thank
happy picking, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
I expect nothing when we essentially cold call somebody, so we came away with a few things. I'm pretty happy.
Scott, I haven't been this excited about picking in a long time. The old Montreal Antiques Show. Our timing is great. We just so happen to be in Montreal. The show is on.
We hear this is the best antique show in Canada.
High-end merchandise. Not unusual to see items in the thousands, some even in the tens of thousands of dollars. We're just hoping we find one or two great items at a fair price. We're a little bit like fish out of water.
Everyone's dressed up to the nines except me.
Here's a couple of prairie boys.
Oh, don't even get inside the door and somebody's giving me a glass of champagne. I'm ahead of the game already.
Not the sort of place a picker would go, but we're there to buy low.
How much is that one?
$5.40.
huh?
Well, in this instance, buy medium and sell high. You never know, we could find one key item that makes our night. Isn't that a sweet little piece?
Wow.
One of the booths we walked into, single item caught my eyes, and it was a great miniature chest of drawers.
Wow.
It's like jewelry.
And dovetail?
Yeah,
And that would definitely have been an apprentice piece, right?
yeah.
It's likely something that was done by an apprentice carpenter to show his skills at the end of the day to get his ticket. It's that kind of quality. You can't get a better miniature than that. You
Isn't
just
that the
can't.
truth?
What's he got on it?
$12.95.
You know, if we could get that at $1,000. It's one of those things that you look for years and years and years to find something as good as that. I think Sheldon wants to talk to you about that little miniature.
How you doing, Sheldon?
where would you have found this piece?
I found this in an estate in Ottawa.
Ah,
you know, it's
okay.
within my perimeter.
That makes sense because I think it's English, right?
Yeah.
That makes
quite
perfect
sure.
sense that it would have come
Yeah.
out of Ottawa. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So the question is, what's it going to cost to get us to drive it away? And do I need another glass?
2 glasses, and I'll join you. I think I would do 1,100. You know,
Could you say 1050?
I can do 1050. Yeah, as a gentleman's, I can do 1050.
Thank you so much.
To come down $250 within 5 minutes of the door opening, I'm happy with that. That's
good.
That's a guy that's trying to sell.
Well, they're fun, actually. There's a good team there, and I like the Cowboys sort of gunslinger approach to things.
Look at that piece of gold shiner. If we were in England, wow.
It's going to be a little pricier than what we're normally buying.
3,800. I mean, it's nice, but wow. Look at this table.
9,500.
This is some stuff you're never going to see again, eh?
Yeah.
Look at this coffee table, another $9,500.
Yeah. Sometimes it's an advantage
Wow.
having 2 simple prairie boys
I'm a lumberjack and I am okay.
attack 1 Quebec dealer.
Oh, man. Who owns this booth?
One of the booths had some great folk art. That is the Canoe Cup. All sorts of Quebec items. Boy, it doesn't get much more Canadian than that. But the one that leapt out at us, probably my favorite item of the whole show, was a little folk art biplane. What a great item. Francois, where did you find this piece?
I bought it from a collector here in Quebec.
Was it mounted like this, or was
Yeah.
it? So you've got it marked 525. Keeping in mind,
I've got to eat.
and he's got children.
As I do too, huh?
I've got a deal for you. We'll give you enough so that your kids can eat, and you leave me enough that my kids can eat.
There
Okay.
you go. All right.
I can do it at 450 for you guys.
Not real old, but it's got what you want out of a piece of folk art. It really grabs your eye.
Look the conditions.
Francois, bonne chance.
Thank you. Sir.
I was going to
Thank
try
you.
and grind you, but he already said yes.
It's a good guy. It's my friend.
Mon ami. The dealers have all been flexible, and they can appreciate we're there to try and turn things over.
What happened to the airplane?
They're leaving a little room. Hey, Scott. I'm gonna let her rip. Catch.
And you'd think he was the one that had been drinking.
We've moved on. I love that right there.
Wow, look at
Isn't
that.
that a great dry sink? We saw a classic Canadiana item.
This is 140 years old. Tell us what a dry sink is
Well,
for. Just for cleaning up after dishes or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's where they would have had a bucket here to do washing and things, extra storage for more buckets there, or washing vegetables. or just
Pre-plumbing?
yeah.
We see the big ones sell for $3,500 out west. It's got that
Natural
beautiful
wear.
feel to it,
Yeah.
right? It was great. It was small, painted red, original red color. It had some repaint on the green on the inside.
Got patina. If you had to say what's patina,
There it is.
there's
right
patina. We haven't bought one painted piece of furniture in Ontario or Quebec.
We haven't seen a good piece yet.
So that said, can you help us out on this price-wise? A little on the pricey side,
She was asking $1,200.
but we thought maybe that was worth negotiating on.
I would sell it to you for $1,000.
I think that's always a magic number, isn't it? You get below that,
The
you feel like you've
thousands.
been done. You get above that, you feel like you've done well. So we may as well take it.
Yeah, and I love it.
Great.
I'm happy to be taking that
Thank
west.
you.
Fantastic.
It's the best little piece we've seen for a while.
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for bronzes and brasses and small things.
You're asking for the piece. There, this is stuff.
Oh, yes. The guard cutter.
It was a little bit naughty.
It doesn't look like something the Tsar would have ordered.
You never know.
You never know. And I spotted a really cool little piece. I think of you every time I see that. Probably either a soap dish or a key dish or something like that.
I could see you with your business card lying in there.
It was almost like the devil was holding out his arms and legs to envelop something.
Ah, monsieur! Oh, yes. The devil's advocate, eh?
Yeah.
It's a typical 19th century European bronze.
I've never seen a devil on a bronze before.
But it has absolutely no marks, which you would have thought there'd be something, and I...
Well, you know why, though? When this was made, if the religious community knew who made it, they would have been ostracized.
There could be something there, absolutely. We had to come up with a fair market value, so I put $750 to make a profit, and I'm willing to, you know, to play around. I mean, I do have to make a...
We all have to make a little bit of money, right?
Bit of money.
It was pricey, but you know what? It's such a cool item, and there are certain people that really like that occultist, devilish type thing. So tell me this. We're getting ready to go. What's the rock bottom dealer price on that?
I would do 5.5, and if you hit me over the head and treat me nice and fill up my glass of wine, $500. But you were talking about something else as well, maybe.
Well, I like that Riopel. Well, I shouldn't say that. My wife really likes Riopel.
Well, you know.
Riopel is probably the most internationally recognized painter to come out of Canada.
He's God. In Quebec, he's God.
That was a print from an exhibition. There would have been hundreds of these made
Yes,
for
but
the
he may not have sold. He may not have signed them all, though.
That's what's different. That's the only thing to me that makes it different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I thought that the $495 price point was reasonable, and if you wanted to do a deal for a few things, then you know, I can, you know, rob Peter to pay Paul. You know. I mean,
well, let's go back to the front and see what we can do. So, if I was to take the Riopel and this one, what would you do?
$850.
And just before we finish, I mean, is that not Canadian?
Yeah.
It's a clip.
Yeah, it's for holding letters or notes.
I've seen them most often used nailed to the door, and you can leave a note.
Victorian times, you know, people would come around and leave carte de visite.
Right.
You know.
So would we do 900 on all of them?
We spend a little more sometimes.
You said 850, 350, 900.
I'll spread it out. Yeah, fine.
But the profit is there.
Excellent. I'm a happy
Put
man.
your finger in there.
That's it.
It was great. I had a couple glasses of champagne.
It was very civilized picking.
Merci.
Thank you.
It's been a long, long time since I've seen that much good stuff in one place. Yeah, exactly.
I'd go back to the old Montreal show. That was a lot of fun.
So I went to the Habs game last night.
How was that?
That was good, exciting. You could feel the electricity in the air.
I used to be a huge fan of Jean Beliveau when I was a kid.
I was too.
I wore number 4 right up until the time I took Bobby Clark's number and wore number 16.
Today's the day that we're going to get some of our purchases appraised.
Yeah, I'm Patrick. I do auction for the past 25 years here in Montreal.
An auctioneer's appraisal is probably the closest you're going to get to a true market value because they're not just holding on to them, they're selling them.
Hey, Patrick. Walking in, I couldn't help but notice this outstanding desk.
Yeah, this is a gorgeous desk, but this desk used to belong to Mussolini.
I almost feel guilty putting a little rocking horse on top of Mussolini's desk, but...
I don't feel guilty at all.
Yeah, don't either.
I was really interested to hear what Patrick had to say about that little naive rocker.
Give you a hand.
Thank you.
It's very primitive because that's not something that I've ever dealt with.
It's a nice horse, and you see that he had a good life. Probably from 1900, 1910.
Still can see a little bit of the red paint on it.
Yeah.
We paid $100 for that rocker. Hard to figure out the demand for that kind of an item.
Auction is very surprising,
Yeah.
but you always have to start with a minimum price.
Right.
I would start it in my auction around $300. That would be the rock bottom price.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
And I would expect to have at least $500.
Bingo! That was a pretty good number for me.
The second horse I saw, it's a very good condition. It's almost mint, so it might be Eaton Canada toy.
Yeah, you could just see a little kid at the turn of the century doing that. Give it a little bit of a run there, Joe.
Yeah. And the saddle is very nice.
Saddle is good, isn't it?
It's the first time I see one complete like this.
Yeah, we were very pleased to get this.
And what about the other horse? We paid $200 for the glider horse.
The lowest reasonable price we could start it would be around $500.
Oh, good.
Excellent. That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
The highest price we should get for the horse would be around $1,200. So I hope
That
we
would be
make
a
money
good-
with it.
That would be a good day.
Ching!
Bingo! Looks like we've got a potential of nearly $2,000 for the pair. That's a pretty good return. Really appreciate it. But nice to meet you.
And good luck in your quest.
The ongoing, the never-ending journey. You know, it was a great thing meeting Patrick. Happy with the things he told us.
Very effervescent people. They're full of energy.
It's Goofy. We're standing in an alley waiting for somebody to come.
Yeah, this morning I got a call from Rob.
I told the guys I had something special that I thought they might like.
So what did he tell you about this Goofy thing?
Oh, it sounds good. Here was the key. It's red.
Oh, perfect. Yikes. Hey, hold on.
And sure enough, in the passenger seat, he's got the big red bird. Wow, that's a
Wow,
big,
that's
a
life
big bird.
size.
I put him up here.
Oh, man.
Isn't that cool?
He's sweet.
Yeah, it's about 100 years old.
It's got some nice wear to him. And he's red.
Red is...
Folk art is absolutely the craziest market in the business. You can get an American windmill that was made in a small town somewhere that can go for tens of thousands of dollars. And most people would look at it and go, I don't understand why. That piece, though, it had everything going for it.
You know what I really like? I like the motion. They didn't just plant the other foot there. I like that motion.
Yeah. He looks like he's traveled a little bit in his lifetime, so I like him.
Actually, I picked this up on my travels through rural Ontario.
Oh, yeah.
Came out of an old hotel.
You just bought it as is?
Well, I saw it and I went, wow, you know, it's red.
And it's big. So, what's the damage?
I need $1,000. I know it sounds like a lot, but...
You know, I was hoping to hear less, but I wasn't surprised.
This is a very nice piece of folk art. And
Wow. We are at the Montreal Old Antique Show, and we saw pieces that I don't think hold a candle to that turkey for triple, quadruple the price. $3,800. Look at this table.
And 9,500.
$3,200. Wow. So I thought to myself, I'm not leaving without that turkey.
Hey, we don't drop $1,000 without at least having a little discussion.
By the way, my recollection of the little parlay was, buy it.
Deal?
Hey, I love that turkey.
We could pick this country for the next 10 years and not see as good a piece of folk art as that.
I'm gonna let him ride in the front with me.
I think we can get $2,500 for it, but the sort of upper limit on a piece like that might be $4,000 or $5,000. Who knows?
We're gonna sit on it for a while and try and make the bingo off that turkey.
Are you feeling strong?
Oh, man, he's a heavy guy, eh? I'm
Right.
happy about that, bud.
Yeah. If somebody enjoys it as much as I did, then yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, isn't it lovely?
It's great, isn't it?
Great
The fan?
patina. You know, this is one of the first times in a while we've got stuff that was equally interesting to you and me.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Quebec's been fantastic. We're going home with a full load.
I got to sample a few Quebec beers, and you always know it's a good pick when you don't know if you got enough money to pay for everything you bought or enough room in the van to take it home.
Wait.
I didn't know you could speak French.